Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two 40% alcohol silver or clear tequilas. This is Tijuana Silver Tequila, introduced in 1966, produced in Mexico by, well, all tequila has to be produced in Mexico. Produced in Mexico by Maestri, although their trade name is Gonzalez and Gonzalez, but it's the same company. See if this will focus. It's produced for the Sazerac company. It's a they make it for Sazerac, and it's bottled in Kentucky at Buffalo Trace by Sazerac. So if you go on a Buffalo Trace tour, I'm almost 100% sure they are not going to show you where they're bottling tequila or other cheap gin and rum that they have, because their focus there is going to be on what? Bourbon. Come on, focus. Or it might be on, they might talk about Wheatley vodka. Well, they do talk about that on the tour, which is a vodka brand, one of their distillery masters developed over there. So, yeah, and they'll talk about the Buffalo cream, the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream, but they're not going to talk about this, okay? And they're not going to really want to acknowledge it. And if you look on the bottle, it just says worldwide importers. Who in the world is worldwide importers? Well, if you look below that, it says Sazerac.com. But they don't list it on the website because this is a cheap tequila, mainly for bar rooms. It's a 1 liter bottle, or you could buy it, go home and make cheap cocktails, okay? But it has been on the market nearly 60 years, so somebody likes it. And it was $8.99 for the liter. So we're talking about as low as it goes, $8.99 for the liter. But it tastes pretty good. It's nothing great. It's just, the only complaint you could make about this is that it's bland. It's kind of dull, but not all for nasty. BC's Beer Reviews, BC's Beer Reviews. Regardless of if it's a bottle or a can or even draft, he'll do the review. And I hope he joins us again for some live hangouts, although I'm not putting pressure on him to do that. No pressure, just wanting to know that he's welcome. We like him to join. Wow, says BC. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you. Omar says good morning. And here's the competitor, Jose Cuervo. Now, you might say, well, Jose Cuervo should come first because Jose Cuervo has been around longer than 1966. The company was founded in 1755. Yes. I'm sorry, 1795. Yes, it was founded in 1795. But this particular brand, the 100% agave, no filler, Plata, that means silver, tequila silver, or silver tequila in English. Come on, focus. You can do it. You can do it. Maybe you can do it. This came out in 1977. So it wasn't until, here we go. That's what it looks like. Pretty bottle. It wasn't, and it's got a cork. It wasn't until 46 years ago that they came out with 100 proof, not 100 proof, what am I saying? 100% tequila. It's just a type of tequila. It's called a puro or whatever. Now the other one is called a mixto. That's the more common type. If you buy tequila, just randomly, chances are you're going to get those types. They're called mixtos because the law, I didn't write the law. I don't make the law. I'm not a legislator. I'm not an executive. I'm not involved in the government at all. I used to work for the government, but that was over 10 years ago. But up to 49% of the recipe can be filler, like sugarcane, vodka, or something like that. It's allowed. That would be nice to join or hang out. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, BC. Anytime you want to join, but like I say, no pressure. But sometimes I feel like people don't join because they get this mindset that like they'll think like they look bad on video, or we don't really like them joining. I've had that feeling over the years with some people, like they're insecure, and I don't want them to feel that way. I mean, yeah, I get paranoid when I go in other people's hangouts sometimes. Like I don't know half the people, and I'm shy. I'd be shy and don't know what to say, or I feel like I'm gonna say the wrong thing, and or they'll take it the wrong way because I kid around, and they'll be like, "Oh, how could you say that?" And I'm like, I was just clearly I was joking. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you, Ronnie. Thanks for watching. He's one of my moderators, Ronnie. Yes. So yeah, I didn't do any live videos for a week because I was out of the country. I actually went on a trip to well, 3 different places. First, I went to England, but we only stopped at the airport to get on a different plane an hour later. Then we took the plane 2.5 hours to Gibraltar, a British territory next to Spain. Used to be part of Spain, but in one of their many wars, the British captured it and has refused to give it back in 319 years. And I don't care about that. It's none of my problem. It's not my problem. I'm not here to regulate conflicts between Spain and the British Empire. All right. But it was interesting, and then, oh, real cork. See what I'm saying? Well, it could focus, but this camera is touchy, especially when the light is off. But then I went to Spain. I got kicked out of Spain. Got right across the border, went to the desk, and it was a long discussion. And the guy told me, he pointed toward the door, and he said in Spanish, "You're not coming to Spain. Get out." So he didn't have to say it twice. Or I'm going to argue with border guards. I had to go back to Gibraltar, get the paperwork they were asking for, which was quite difficult, as you can imagine, because it's not like I went on a trip to Europe and I brought a printer with me. But believe it or not, I found a place that would print it at nighttime after business hours. And man, if this thing would focus, I'd be so delighted. Oh, but it's not going to. And then I went back to Spain, and the big bully kind of guy, the guy that was giving me trouble, he wasn't around at the time. He had gone somewhere, and they looked around and saw he wasn't there. So they told me, hurry up, go through, because who knows what he'll do if he comes back. They didn't have to tell me twice. I was out the door. The guy didn't even check my bag. The next guy was like, come on, don't worry about it. They might have told him too, don't worry about it. But man, I cannot believe this camera will refuse to focus. This is worse than ever. Oh. I'll try to get the. I mean, we know what a cork looks like, but it's just strange that it won't do it. So there's the Tradicional over here out the way, and here's the Tijuana. But yeah, I went to the hotel, and then they were sold out. The guy was like, "You need a room for one night?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, okay." He said, "We have no rooms." Saturday night, we full. I was really panicking then. I was like, "They got other hotels around here?" "Yeah." He was down the street. And so I did find it. And they had a room. The price was higher than normal. She said, "Well, it's higher because it's Saturday night." I said, "I get that." So I did 4 beer reviews. I was stressed out, man. I did 4 beer reviews. I did 3 of them. Then I put it down, and I went walking around downtown where they had all these people out. Party town, eating. They eat supper at 10 o'clock at night in Spain. It was like 9:45. Y'all, you ready to go eat supper? Ready to go eat dinner? Supper? I guess supper at night. Eating a steak dinner. Bunch of fish covered with green peppers. I mean, oh man. So these people stay up late. Finally, around 1 o'clock, I didn't hear people outside talking anymore. had the windows open, no air conditioning, but you didn't need it. And then did the fourth beer review when I got back to the hotel, and then it was on to the next adventure the next day. um, yeah, sometimes hangouts can be nerve wracking, especially when you're hanging out and you got some attitude people. You know what I'm talking about. Ronnie knows what I'm talking about. People got an axe to grind or a chip on their shoulder, like they're looking for something. And I don't back down. I mean, I'm not looking for trouble when I join a hangout. I'm not looking for trouble. I just like to have a good time. And but you could tell when they got a little attitude issue, and and some people are megalomaniacs. What I mean is they like to have control. They may not have any control in it, but they'll be like, I'm running this, and like they get a thrill out of like kicking you off or blocking you. When it may have been something that you say, no, I meant to say, well, no, what you're like, no, I'm trying to explain what I meant. It was I meant that, and then you're out for it. You could explain it, and you never use bad language. You never said anything to anybody. And then they'll say, yeah, I showed him. And then they can now they control the narrative because you got no way to respond. You can't say, no, what I meant was, and let me explain it. And the person that did that might be obviously halfway totally drunk. And then there's all this. See, I don't do the drama stuff, and that's what Ronnie means. So, like on my channel, you're not going to get kicked off unless you're interrupting everybody and nobody can talk. I'd probably just mute you, and I would say, look, you got to let other people talk. Okay, his viewpoint on this beer is so forth. Now, okay, so he's finished talking. Now you can present your viewpoint on the beer. And if you present the viewpoint, fine. Now, if you're up there cursing, screaming, hollering, saying ugly names, well, go to some other channel and do that. This is more like a thoughtful channel. We get enough low grade intelligence, low grade cultural content on regular channels. So, but see, they can't accuse me of doing that, because if you had an issue with anything we said about beer, wine, liquor, politics, history, because people bring up other topics, fine. You can come on my channel for 30 minutes uninterrupted and make your point. Now, that's a deal. That's the best bargain on the internet. No one's ever taken me up on the bargain. They've said they wanted to. I want to come on your channel. And I was like, okay, well, you ain't wearing a mask and hiding your identity. You're not going to go by your little nickname on the internet, Mimi God, whatever. No, your real name and your real face, and you could be a real man and do what you want to do. Because I'm here, but they won't do it because they're not in control. See, but why you got to be in control? If what you're saying is valid, just come on the thing and do it. Whiskey Quest. Oh, morning, says Mr. R. Whiskey Quest says, morning, Ron. I'm out walking the dogs this cold winter morning. A tequila would sure warm things up when I get back. Ron, if I had $1 every time your camera had a hard time focusing, you'd have a lot of money. But I'm glad, though. I only paid $30 for this camera at Walmart, Logitech. You say that's cheap. Yeah, I get it. But there's another guy that does beer reviews, and he paid $90 for a camera, a Logitech, like high-tech camera. And he still has the same problem. The damn thing won't focus. And I said, well, you paid $60 more, but you got the same results. And he was basically telling me, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's focused now. It's going to stay focused. But, when you try to show stuff up close, it's like the camera gets confused. And see, like, now it's not confused. It'll do better when the light's on. I think when the light is off and it's dark, it gets more confused. And you can see this is like that press board cork. It's not a pure piece of cork. It's like little chips of cork pressed together and held by some kind of glue. I don't know how they can. It's like a miracle of industry how do you do that. But anyhow, it's cool. It's probably too dark to focus. Yeah, Whiskey Quest. I think that was the issue. Like, it's the darkness confuses the little. It's probably like a little computer thing in the you know what I'm saying, in the camera. A video on the history of Gibraltar would be an interesting idea. Yeah, you're right. I made some little video clips while I was there. I posted one already of the British soldiers marching down. They're doing their little ceremony. I just happened to see them. I was walking, going to get something to eat or whatever I was doing, and here they come playing the music. And obviously, these were retired soldiers, probably in some reserve group. Reserved forever to never come back to active duty because these guys were old. And one was a young guy, probably a young Army guy, probably just reserves. You know what I'm saying? He's probably in college, and they do that on Saturdays, I guess, or maybe every day. But I doubt it. But it's cool. And then I made some other videos in Gibraltar. I made some videos in Spain, and I made videos in Spanish Africa. So they'll be posted as time permits. I don't want to post too many videos per day. Preach, Ron, preach. Yeah, well, I'm not trying to be preachy, but I think I'm being truthful and I'm being accurate. And Ronnie, and I'm talking about that because Ronnie S. brought it up, and he knows what I'm talking about from experience. Okay, now this is not going to be much of a challenge because there is no way this Tijuana got a chance against the Cuervo. $8.99 for a liter of the Tijuana and $24.95 for the regular bottle of Jose Cuervo Tradicional. Funny thing about the Cuervo, they're the same price as the Mixto Cuervo. Like if I go to Walmart and buy this Cuervo 100% agave, it's going to be the same price as the regular Jose Cuervo. And a regular Jose Cuervo cannot stand up. It can't compete against this one at all. You do it. I did a blind taste test and it was a joke. But I bet you that regular Especial Cuervo outsells this 20-1. You say, well, why don't people try this one out? Because they probably never tried it. And you know how consumers are. If they've never had it, they're not going to try it. You could tell them, well, why don't you try this one? Oh, I bet it's too strong. You always hear people say it's too strong. What do you mean it's too strong? It's the same alcohol level. I don't argue with people anymore over that because, it's like butter. Oh, no, they're out of Land of Lakes. You say, well, get the Borden. Oh, I don't use that garbage butter. I know it's probably so much more different because the Land of Lakes is made with cream and then the Borden is made with cream, and salt. The other one's made with salt. It's amazing. It is really amazing the way people will approach jelly. Same thing, peanut butter, like fanatics. I mean, like Mick Jagger said, I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. This smells like tequila, pepper, kind of that cornbread smell. I don't know why tequila sometimes smells like cornbread because it's got nothing to do with corn, but yeah, smells as regular. This smells like that too, but it's so washed down. Like it's the same. This has the same aroma as that, but this is 90% less of it. It's like a full nose and a faint nose. So we know what is what. This is the Jose. Excuse me. This is the Tijuana, and that's the Jose Cuervo. I don't need to taste it. I know what it is. I know. True. People are used to name brands. I say try new things. It might surprise you. It might. But it's like talking to the wall, man. I've run across this with my own family, with my friends, with my enemies. And, I want those who get to know me to become admirers or my enemies. Wow. I can't help that. That's a gift. So I'll taste it just for the hijinks of it. No, I'm going to say this is the Cuervo. Ding, ding. What a challenge. I got it on aroma only. Taste anyway. Yeah. Oh, it has a good flavor. It's got that cornbread. That cornbread. I don't know what it is, but it's like this vegetable. It's like a vegetative thing. And you say, well, common sense, ding-a-ling. You got no brain. You went to Europe and lost your mind. Agave is a vegetable. Ain't it true? It's like a pepper, but it's not a green pepper, but it's like that. Succulent, like juicy, got you squeeze it, the juice comes out. Uh, and I don't know where the pepperiness comes from. Well, maybe it's just that maybe that's the taste of it. Like rye bread. Rye bread tastes minty, but there's no mint in rye. Mm, medium body, spicy. It's an A. Like my friend David said, it's an A. It's an A. It's most excellent. And he would never say that about Cuervo. He had never tried this in his life. Okay, so if you'd have asked him what's Cuervo, he'd have stopped you right there and said, "Oh, that's garbage." That's what he had said. Cuervo equals garbage. That was his opinion. But since I bought the bottle, there was no risk factor for him, so he was keen to try it. And but he was amazed. I don't think the video got posted yet. Maybe tomorrow. We're sitting in the backyard. He was amazed, like, "Oh man, I can't." It was like a whole new world, a whole new world of Jose Cuervo. And then we did. I said, "You want to try the regular?" Yeah. He was like, "Oh, just that's the memory I have of it, the bad memory." So in his mind, it was like the bad Jose Cuervo and the new world of awesomeness. Okay. He's never had Tijuana. Well, Tijuana's all right. You like water? That's what it tastes like, water. It really tastes like mildly agave flavored water. Well, if you drink it enough, you're going to find out it's not water because it's 40% alcohol. So it ain't water. It does have a nice flavor. It's just the complaint here is it is presenting a lack of flavor. Are any of the flavors bad? No, they're actually good. They're just not there. Like the food I ate over there in Spain, in Gibraltar, uh, everything tasted good and nothing tasted bad. It's just it didn't have much flavor. They don't. I'm looking around like, where's the black pepper? Huh? Right? Where's the hot sauce? It was like everything was like under seasoned, I thought. And I didn't speak Spanish. So I was too embarrassed to try to ask them, like, "You got any sauce?" And everything they eat is sandwiches, like sandwiches for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, sandwiches for supper, bocadillas. Well, I like sandwiches, of course, but I get the bread and it's like, where's the mayonnaise? Where's the mustard? Where's the ketchup? Where's the sandwich spread? You know what I'm saying? Like, these people eat these sandwiches dry. Even olive oil I'd have been glad to put on it. But I got to admit, the meat and the cheese and the egg, they had one sandwich was egg and meat and cheese. It was very good. I didn't know what to order because I couldn't speak the language. I would just guess. I'll point to the menu. Give me that. I didn't know what I was getting. Let's see what happens. One time I got the egg sandwich. Wasn't exactly looking for that for lunchtime, but it was very good. Uh Last comments. Have you ever been to the Isle of Man? No, but I know about the Isle of Man. It's a crown dependency, not a British territory. Technically, it's owned by the crown itself, the king himself. But like I say, technically, Jose Cuervo is a good brand. Herbie says hi. Black pepper is essential, says Mr. R, in sauce too. I know I'm addicted to black pepper and sauce and onions, so I gotta have that, But they were just eating it. They seem happy. The coffee is great. I was living large on that coffee in Spain and in Spanish Africa. The coffee was dino. So, but we'll talk about that more later. But anyway, yeah. Overall, a good trip. Can't complain except for the bad stuff like getting kicked out of Spain. But then, like I said, I was able to go back. That was so crazy. All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.